Now, Ron, first of all, happy 200th. Not something that is said to many people around the world. Happy 200th.
Hey, thanks a lot, Bill. Yeah, sometimes it does feel like I've been there that long.
Yeah, right. I feel the same way. I've only been here 4 years. I feel like I've been here for 200. I've been here for 4 hours. I feel like I've been here for 200. I get it. So, all right.
No, I think I'm going on about 30 years, but sometimes, as I said, sometimes it does feel at least triple digits. So,
well, the OD
you can tell. I obviously have a passion for it. I've been there that long.
No doubt. And you started at the Herkimer office, right?
Yes. Well, actually, I started at the OD as a part-timer, working for both papers, the morning and the afternoon paper. You know, the Daily Press and the OD.
Right.
And I was still living outside of Richfield Springs, traveling back and forth up over Bickerman Hill in the winter, and I think I got paid mileage to cover the Blue Sox, the Utica Blue Sox. I got paid the 3 miles back and forth to the OD office, so that's 6 total miles when I was actually traveling close to 70 back and forth to home. I think I paid the OD and the Daily Press to work for them for a while.
Some things never change, Ron, huh?
All right, so here we are. We're getting into the thick of things here. How about I just wanted your comments on the fact that the hockey tournament will not be in Utica this year, the high school hockey tournament.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. From what I understand, I think we got outbid again. I'm not sure that is an absolute fact. That may be an alternate fact. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised because it's another thing we meaning our area has lost. Every time you lose something, it's tough to get it back. And I think it's been here the last 7 years, but overall, it's been here many, many years. John Cunningham, the New Hartford, longtime New Hartford coach, now his son coaches, but he's still the Section 3 chairman, I believe. And I really think the odds, of course, again, people from the Syracuse area can point to, well, you're from the Utica area.
Right.
It is still a nicer venue.
Yeah.
I don't think you can, I don't even think that's an argument, but my guess is, and I don't know this for a fact, that it came down to money, and, Section 3, let's face it, Section 3 and the state is about money too.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, because I think I checked, I don't think UC or the Comets are home that weekend. So
no, I was looking the same thing, and I thought, well, maybe the NCAA tournament coming here this year, the Frozen Four played a role, but that hasn't. It's just it's a loss for the area. There's no doubt.
And at about the same time, New York State announced that that baseball in the Binghamton area was extended another year through 2018. Because I always hold out hope that our area will get it back, the state baseball championship.
Yeah.
But at least through 2018, it'll be in Binghamton. I do think they're making a great move instead of a one-day tournament where there's 2 semifinal games and a championship game in all 5 classes. Now that this year for the first time, it'll be a 2-day thing. So.
And then a big announcement too, and I know you were all over this. That is the pitch count.
I'm torn, Bill. I sort of feel for the local head coaches around this area because, let's face it, primarily the vast majority of our schools are small Class C, D schools with low enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck trying to come up with enough pitchers, especially in our climate where we may get backed up and we might get 3 rainouts in a row, and then you got to play 5 times in the next 6 days.
Yep.
I have no idea where these smaller schools are going to come up with enough kids who can put the baseball over the plate even.
Yeah, well,
I worry about it. I'm afraid. I mean, worst case scenario is, some programs will fold or almost as bad as the game becomes a travesty. Who wants to see a 30-23 baseball game? Or, well, actually, they'll get called because of darkness by then. That's it's obviously not good baseball. And I realize that the intentions obviously are good for the increase in arm injuries, Tommy John surgeries, that kind of thing. But I'm not totally sold on the idea that this is the root of the evil.
Yeah.
But
you know yourself, a lot of parents out there, their kids are specializing, let's say, in baseball as a pitcher. They go around all these showcase tournaments, and primarily those are often unregulated as far as pitch count and everything. And you want to impress scouts or whatever, or you want to show what you can do, and then you come back and play, in this area where pitch counts are regulated. Well, by the time you get to the high school level, I'm afraid some of these kids, the damage has already been done. They're damaged goods then.
Yeah.
And then when they get hurt at the high school level, we're pinpointing, putting the pitch counts on high school age pitchers, and I'm not sure that's going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. Time will tell.
So, certainly going to find out.
So you're saying, Ron,
and I've been covering high school baseball for over 30 years, counting back in my Cortland days, and I can honestly say only a handful of times have I, and obviously I'm not a doctor, but where I thought that, Jesus, this pitcher's getting abused. Very, very rarely in this area. Yeah. And to be honest, if they were getting abused, if this has been done in the past on a consistent basis, I'm pretty sure my phone would have been ringing off the hook at the OD. Parents complaining about it. I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
Ron, I know the old limit was I think 12 innings in one day, which is pretty outrageous. And as you pointed out, had that been going on, had that been the habit, you would have heard about this. You cover a lot of local baseball, but I felt like in looking at the chart, it's basically 100 pitches, and you have to have 4 days off. That's almost a Major League Baseball guideline. Basically, a starting pitcher goes about 100 pitches, unless you're one of the really good ones. Few head coaches let you go more than 100. Maybe they let you go to 110, and then it's a 5-man rotation, so you get 4 days off anyway. I didn't think these were too far out of line. I understand your point. They don't have a 5-man rotation, the local high schools, but still 100 pitches is about what a pro goes.
True, but we're not talking about pros throwing 98 miles an hour either.
Right. And a lot of these kids aren't throwing curveballs. They're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of this, in my opinion, is mechanics, preparation, what you do in between outings.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm not saying every coach is a saint when it comes to that, but I think. Primarily they have taken care of their pitchers, or else I would have heard about it. I haven't heard of, many stud pitchers in this area having Tommy John surgery. Now, maybe I've just missed that, but I do know of some kids who have had surgeries who played in, specialized only in baseball, and then wound up getting hurt. I can tell you that, the kid I use as an example, West Canada Valley kid, Josh Chapin, he did not specialize in baseball. He's going to play it at MV, but he was a 3-sport all-state kid at West Canada Valley who played baseball during the spring, football, basketball. Terry Nichols, Griffin Bauer, 2 other kids at New York Mills. Griffin Bauer, I know, threw a ton of pitches when he pitched at New York Mills.
Yeah.
However, but he's going to go pitch at Utica College, and he did not specialize in baseball. He played football. He played basketball for a state championship team. I'm a proponent for not playing one sport year round, and I think that's been supported medically. That especially in a quote unquote overhead sport where you're throwing overhand. Josh Chapin was a quarterback at West Canada Valley, but he was a running quarterback. He rarely threw the ball. And they made it to the Section 3 finals. So I think there are examples both ways, but I still think that if you specialize in, for instance, baseball as a pitcher, you still got to take some rest, and I'm not sure kids do,
Yeah.
That comes back to the parents. So
watching the Mets game over the summer, and Ron Darling, they got into this, but, because the Mets have been just plagued by pitching problems and surgeries, and so Ron Darling's his opinion is that it is travel ball. It's that every kid around the country is playing travel ball, and they're playing that, and they're playing high school, and that it is. So what's happening is by the time they get into the majors, it's their first couple seasons. All of a sudden, they gotta have a surgery, and so I'm not sure. But this ruling doesn't do anything to travel ball. This is just high school. So it's almost puts high school in a or is it travel ball too?
Not that I know of.
No, it's just high school.
From what I understand, most of that's unregulated. You're on your own.
Yep.
And hopefully someone can step in and do something. Ron, how does this? I know Bill asked about travel ball. What about Legion ball? I think in your article you said Legion ball has put some restrictions in place.
Yeah, in fact, well, I didn't work last night, but I did the story Saturday night. It should be in today's paper. I haven't even walked out of the house yet today, so I haven't seen the paper. But I'm pretty sure the Legion story is in today's. That they've also set limits.
Okay.
It'll start this summer. Slightly different, but based on the same premise.
Yep.
I mean, a certain amount required rest in between outings, and the pitch count is a little different. Let's face it, in Legion, I think when you get down to the tournaments, it is taxing on pitching staffs, but at least there are fewer teams. It's a quote-unquote all-star team.
Right.
So you do have more arms available.
Yep.
But, when you get to the tournaments, remember, it goes from 7 innings to 9 innings, and then double elimination, too.
Yep.
Throw that on top of it, where you could play, a couple games every day. That can wear on a pitching staff, too. But Legion's a little different because you do have more arms available. I mean, you're going to stock your roster with more pitchers.
And this all goes into effect this year, right? Is it immediate?
Oh, yeah,
so,
right away.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Ron. Moshier, you can read about it. There is a story. You can Google it. He has a whole story on the pitch count. You can pull it up from the OD. And Ron, thanks. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Ron Moshier, Utica Observer Dispatch. Take a break. Come right back.